So many women mistakenly think that there are different type of men, the one that are more generous and the one that's more giving, the one that's more caring, more protective. They want to invest their time, energy, emotions, their thoughts and energy, and that there are less generous, less kind, and stingy, the ones that do not want to invest in you. And when we talk about our communication with a man and about receiving the compliments, again, his investment, it is not so much important which type of a man surround you or in front of you, but who you are for him. Again, when we talk about communication with a man and receiving his time, energy, resources, money, gifts, attention, it is not so much important. The type of a man, more kind, more giving, less kind, less giving. It is about who you are to him. So in this episode, in this video, I will discuss why a man invest in women, why some men do not invest in women, what steps should you take for you to receive more. Hi there, my name is Olga Gurianova and welcome back to my channel. So let's begin with this common misconception about the type of a man. Yes, of course, to a certain extent, we are all different, right? We all have different personalities, not just men, but also women. When we talk about love and communicating with a man, what's more important is to communicating with him on a level of the emotions, right? Creating an emotions, letting him experience certain emotions around you, with you. Even when you are not necessarily in front of him. This is where the instincts, the nature lies, right? However, what most women mistakenly think that if they will become easily available, do things for him, accommodate him, make their body available to him, have sex with him, early on, then they think that this man will give them more, will want to create relationships with them, give them their emotions, their resources, their time, energy, and everything. But this is wrong. Yes, when we talk about love and falling in love, communicating with a man on the level of emotions, on the level of their instincts, of their nature, is way more important than communicating with a man from a logical perspective, right? He asks you a question, you straightforward reply and give him the response. No mystery, no interest. Okay? However, as soon as you become available to him, your value drops. And of course, he might use you for certain time, right, to just play around, create certain experiences with you, but it is rarely leads to long-term relationships. And of course, there are exceptions to the rules, but we are talking about the majority of the situations, the majority of the dynamics between men and women. And for the man, when he is choosing a woman to be with, very first thing he's looking at is how attractive you are to him. And only then he is looking at your personality, at your values and other things. And just let's imagine that around him, he has a lot of attractive women and that he wants to have some sort of communication or relationships. This value is not going to be the determining factor in order for him to invest in you. You are not going to be special, the priority to him. So therefore, when we talk about man giving you his time, his efforts, his actions, his thinking about you, giving you gifts, giving you his resources, we are talking about his investment. And like I already said, when we talk about the investments, his investment, It's not so much important about the type of a man, generous, not generous, more generous, less generous, stingy, not stingy. It is more important who you are to him. If the man is interested in you, has genuine interest in you, sees you as a woman with whom he wants to have life and a future with, you are important to him. You are valuable to him. He is interested in you more than any other woman. Then he will give you everything he got. He will give you his time, his energy, his resources, his money. He will invest in you in his actions, his energy, his time. And when the man does not have interest in you, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do, he will not invest in a woman that he is not interested in. So when we talk about communicating, dealing with, being in the man's world, it is not so much important. Acknowledge the type of a man, although it can take place as well. Also, why you should be more discerning in the beginning of the relationship and when you get to know each other. But ultimately, we have to work on who you are to him, your value, how much you are valuable to him, how much he needs you. In the relationship, there's all this two position, the position of a buyer and the position of a seller. You want to be in the position of a buyer, the one who is choosing, right? But anyways, this is a different even topic. I digress. Let's move on to how to become the woman that he wants to give his time, energy, resources. First, it is more important for you from your side to look in his actions, what he does for you and not what he says. Say again, when one sees you only as an object to satisfy his needs, he might give you a small something, a little bit invest here and little bit invest here, but nothing too serious, nothing too major. Then that is a concern. It means that your value for him is not as high as it should be. There are certain type of actions and behaviors women have in the relationship, in the communication, or in texting, even in phone conversations, that can significantly raise your value. And of course, there are behaviors, words that drops your value. Therefore, if you are the woman that he needs, that he wants not your body, but you, if he has interest in you, if he wants to have a communication with you, if he wants to create experiences with you, if he wants to have life with you, even a stingy man will become generous. Other way around is true too. And you've been in the relationships and generous man, and he was giving and investing in you emotionally, his time and financially, and then something happens and he stopped doing that. Most women think that men become lazy, become unattentive, lose interest, lose romance. They rarely think that they are the cause that create an effect. So what's going on, what's happening, and the way the man reacts to you is an effect, but you are the cause. You always the cause. And yes, it is easier to blame other person. It is easier to complain about other party and say that he is wrong, that he did that or he didn't do that, or we never go out, or he never gives me this and that, and I never receive anything. It is easier to complain and say all those things and do nothing. However, it is way more fun and it is way more effective when we take a position, when a woman takes a position of being the cause. everything that's happening around you, everything that you have in the world, in your life, in your relationships, is an effect that you've created with your behavior, with your thoughts, with your emotions and your actions, right? So to your behavior, your actions, yes, also your emotions. Because the state that a woman is in determines everything, even the state of your relationships. You can be needy, you can be complaining, you can be never satisfied, have never enough, communicate that you are a victim, and as a result you will see this in your relationships, exactly what you complain about in your life, in your relationships. Or you can be the cause, you can be the woman, the number one, the priority, the prize, a woman that a man wants to invest in, a woman that a man needs, desires, and afraid to lose and experience life with. So which side of the scale do you want to be in? If you want to be where you are important to him, where he wants to do actions and not just tell you pretty words, increasing and raising your value, your worth is everything. It is the foundation of the relationships. It's the foundation of everything. Some women will say that, oh no, my man, he is just like that. I've never seen him doing this for me. I've never taken me somewhere nice, never do anything together. And she thinks her man's behavior is exactly the same with everyone. But a man, the same man, can be different with this woman, different with another woman. Why? Because her value will be high. When he needs a woman, when he loves a woman, when he wants to have communication with this woman, life with this woman, you will know. You will know with his actions, when you look in his actions, not words. Words are nice, they're free, they don't cost anything. So what's most important to look at is in his actions, right? And becoming the woman that he wants to invest in. Not trying to change a man. The only thing that you can change is your actions, how you talk, how you communicate, the way you feel. Men read you energetically. You can say to him that I love you, but if you really have no love in you, then of course the man will feel it. Emotions, your own emotional state, your own energy is very important in the relationship with a man. Men are providers by their nature, and they want to give you. It is in their instincts, it is in their nature to protect, to give you their security, to provide for you, to create the resources, to bring the blessings to their woman. But they don't know it. So how does a woman then need to talk to the man to activate his instincts to provide, to give them what they want? So the first thing is knowing that men are providers by their nature. And if you talk to them in the right way, they will do everything for you, raising your value. And you raise your value doing certain actions that raise your value. It is not about being available all the time, not being accommodating to him. It's about creating the emotions in him. It is having sex with him without having sex with him. Saying things to the man and feeling man. Which emotion does he needs right now, and giving him that what he wants. It's having a little bit of a mystery, and it doesn't matter whether you just met or 30 plus years in the relationships and living together. It is being confident in yourself as a woman, that I am not valuable just to you, I am valuable as a woman. When you are trying to be accommodating, when you are trying to be valuable just for one man, when he see that you make him the center of your world, this is not going to lead you far. This is not going to give you what you want, what you desire. Men are naturally also hunters, and sounds generic, but it's just in their instincts. Therefore, a little bit of a competition is not going to hurt. You should feel and know when to use those things, when to step back, when to give them space, when to ask openly, this is what I want. It would be so nice to receive it. It would be so nice for us to spend some time together, to unwind, to relax, to experience some majestic time in a beautiful resort, and have a day in a spa together, or walk on a beach and just no one, just you and I, no kids, no other people, and just the wild nature, the waves, this beautiful sky, the stars surround us, and it smells so nice. It smells like cannot even explain it. Instead of, you don't ever spend time with me. So there is a different behavior, how a woman thinks, talks, expresses herself in her communication with a man, that makes her a prize, which makes her the woman that he wants, that he is interested in, and wants to develop their relationships. And it is not about changing the man, right? It's not about trying to change a man to get something out of them. It's not about the manipulation. It is about knowing how to communicate with men. They are the providers by their nature. They want to provide for you. They want to give you. And the man for whom you are important, he will give you everything. His time, his energy, his emotions, resources, including financial. Because for him, it is important for his woman to be happy. And when you create certain emotions, when certain energy in your relationship, and when you ask, or when you lead him, when you influence him, not react to his actions, but when you influence him to the outcome that you desire, you get a different outcome. It's important to learn how to communicate with a man. So using certain tone, certain voice will bring you more results, will cause him to protect you, to provide for you, to invest in you. And if a man doesn't have interest in you, then it doesn't matter what you say, how you ask, how you communicate. He is not going to move on with his actions. Again, he might give a little hint on giving you gifts, a little hint on taking you somewhere in the future, just sometime in the future, right? A little hint of something. But that is not where you want to be. This is a red flag that your value is dropped for him, or it's from the beginning was low. Number one, and the most important thing that we must work on, is who you are for him. And if you desire to become the woman for whom the world and men find their resources, time and energy for you, I invite you to schedule a one-on-one consultation free of charge with me. And in my Cleopatra's one-on-one program, I teach women how to be that woman. We work on the identity, because your identity is everything. Who you are is way more important than what you do. And we work on your self-worth. We work on your value, on your self-worth. We raise your worth on a completely new level. We also learn the dynamics, the masculine and feminine energetics, dynamics, so that you can create your next level, so that you can meet the right person, so meet the high value provider man, step into your next level. All right, my loves, I love you, and I will see you in the next one.